No escape from debauchery. Oh, I forgot to thank Little Nut up here for that lovely little 42nd Street Pete thing that he did for me that I finally got up there. But anyway, it's convention season. And, alright, this is going to be a rough fucking ride, I'll tell you that, because I was talking to some people about some shit and I decided, what the fuck. I started doing conventions in 1990, and I did my last one in 2018. That was it. I've done a few of them, most notably Chiller, Monster Mania, and Cinema Wasteland. And I was fucking told to look at the roster for this con called Mad Monster Party. And the reason I was told to look at the roster is because they have a real monster on the roster for Mad Monster Party. Kevin Spacey. Now, what the fuck does Kevin Spacey have to do with horror? Oh, wait. He was in a mainstream movie called Seven. I forgot. That qualifies him as horror. So, there seems to be a backlash from attendees, vendors, and fans that the promoters of this convention are stirring into, like, okay, you know, this isn't right, you shouldn't be jumping on our asses. Why not? You brought a known sexual predator to a, quote, family-friendly convention. Obviously, Spacey can't get any fucking work because he's a gay rapist or homosexual rapist or whatever the fuck he did. But just bringing him to this convention just shows how low promoters will sink to make a fucking buck. That's all it is. I mean, come on, you know, a photo op or whatever. I mean, what's the photo op with Spacey going to be? $100 just for him standing next to you, or $200 for his hand down your pants? Or maybe $500 for a little butt action stuff. I mean, okay, I'm being crude here, but fuck it. It comes down to the fact that a lot of this shit that goes on, and I say the cons have jumped the shark for a reason, because they have. This is all about money. This isn't about, 20 years ago, whatever, when things were cool. This is all about making the most money you can off of fans, and sometimes putting them in jeopardy. And this ain't the first time somebody's booked a scumbag. I mean, come on, Gary Busey at Monster Mania. How many times did fans go to the promoter of Monster Mania complaining about how Gary Busey groped them and did this and did that? But of course the promoter goes, oh, don't worry, I'll take care of it. Well, finally, someone went to the police and actually did take care of it, and there was charges pressed, because these promoters are fucking marks for the celebrities. That's what it comes down to. And I was at Monster Mania a couple times. And just for the record, I never was kicked out of any shows or fired from any shows, because number one, you don't get paid for a non-paying job. I left when I saw things getting shitty. And they get shitty. And the whole deal, I've just seen celebrities walk over promoters, like going back to Monster Mania, where Andrew Minarski was down there one time, started a fight in the bar of the hotel, went to a strip club in Philly, started a fight there. The promoter swore up and down that night that Bernarski wasn't coming back in. But next morning, Bernarski just pushed him out of the way and went to his table. No muss, no fuss. Of course, no balls, too. So, and then, of course, there's things that have happened at cons. Of course, Mania goes, we're a family-friendly event. You wouldn't be ashamed to bring your mother, your grandmother, your great-grandmother to this show. Well, yeah, okay, fine. But you've created situations there where it was dangerous. Overcrowding, people having to parking blocks away to come back and find their cars all fucked up and shit like that. Yeah, we remember shit like that. And now William Shatner's going to be a chiller. One day only, which might coincide with his appearance at the Hartville Flea Market in Ohio for one day. Bill, you're 93 years old and you're still hitting your fans over the head. At this point, you should be signing for free. How much money do you have to have? Really? Seriously, how much? And let's face it, if you didn't get that Captain Kirk gig for Star Trek, you would have spent the rest of your career making B-movies for Bill Greffy and Roger Corman. Realize that. Yeah, I'm being rough, but hey, you know something? Fuck it, I don't care. I'm not doing these anymore. I had to walk away from this shit. It's so hypocritical of what these promoters say and do, like the one up here. after, oh, my staff is the greatest, I love my staff, I have the greatest staff. Well, I guess that only works until they die, because the guy that was with them the longest passed away, and there was not even a notice of his passing in the program, I mentioned at the show, whatever. So yeah, I love my staff as long as they're still fucking breathing and willing to work for nothing. And that's what it comes down to. But getting back to this whole thing with Kevin Spacey, it brings a big question mark. Why? It's been all over the news what this guy is. Why would you book him? Are you that much of a mark? Because the backscatter effect must be tremendous, but you're brushing that off and using it as, well, you know, they're picking on us for doing this. No, you didn't do the right thing. This is bullshit. I mean, let's face it, the days of the real good celebrities are gone. Most of them are passed away, unfortunately. The guys that made conventions fun, like H.G. Lewis, Dave Friedman, Sid Haig, Zachary, Ted Michaels, Gary Kent, Gary Clark, George Romero, the list goes on and on. They're fucking gone. There ain't too many of the good guys left. Now you got a bunch of mercenary motherfuckers that won't even make eye contact with you when you pay $100 or $200 to get a selfie with them, and just so you can go home and say you hung out with this person, guaranteed that person didn't make eye contact with you. I mean, you know, like I said, I was in this thing for over 30 years, and I seen it start out really good, and I seen it turn into what it turned into today. Nothing but a cash grab. And right now you might be angry at me, but you know something? This is the truth. You don't know what I've seen over the years I've been there. I'll give you, for instance, one time at Chiller, this guy Vic Ludden was hitting so hard on Linnea Quigley that I had to physically intervene and block him from getting close to her because he was that aggressive. And this is a movie star. Okay, that's just another instance. You know, they've had, like I said, there's been all kinds of crap going on. I'm not knocking Chiller, but somebody got stabbed there a few shows ago. Somebody's got a hard-on for him. They call in bomb scares. I mean, this is petty fucking bullshit. You know, you should go back to enjoying the shit for what it's worth, not making this a huge fucking cash grab and, okay, well, if we get people in to do photo ops, we can make a lot of fucking money and be able to do another con. You know, like I said, I'm just fed up with it, and the whole thing, I'm not going to say who tipped me off to the Spacey thing, but they're really pissed off about it. They have to share the same fucking air as this predator monster fuck. So I'm just saying how I feel about this, and you know, I'm not trying to influence anybody, but you know something? You should look at certain shit and go, enough's enough, okay? Like I said, why does William Shatner need autograph money? He's 93 years old. You know, and like I said, I'm not a Star Trek guy. As a matter of fact, I picked up James Doohan at the airport, and I had to sit there and wait with him for a half hour for some reason. And I had to steer the conversation around everything but Star Trek because I'm not a fucking fan. And James was a really nice, down-to-earth guy, and we talked about his World War II service. So that's how I worked that out. But, man, you know, it just ain't like it used to be. And, you know, another instance is, you know, I've said this before, the promoters that become stars of their own show, and that seems to be what's going on a lot with these things. But yeah, book Kevin Spacey. Why don't you, you know, book somebody else? You know, everybody with a record. I remember the whole thing when it was a thing going on with OJ, and they said, well, OJ will appear at Chiller, and Chiller said, no, we're not going to book a fucking accused murderer, which was great. You know, at least they stood up for that. People were pushing for it to happen, but it never happened. And like I said, this is a real blot on the convention here, because this guy is a problem. And God only knows what he's going to do, what he's capable of, but they're going to say, oh no, this is a family-friendly show, he won't do nothing. Well, you know something? You fucking booked him, you deal with the fallout. And the fallout might be a real drop in attendance because, honestly, you fucked up. So, that's my show for today. Thanks for subscribing, thanks for tuning in, and if you're pissed off, just say something, make a comment. I'm not afraid to address this shit. I mean, like I said, I put in 30 years of this shit. In the 30 years that I was doing it, I never charged anybody for a signature. I never charged anybody to take a picture with me. I never have and I never will. I'm grateful for what I have as far as the fan base I have. I don't fuck them. So on that happy note, have a great weekend.